Our next award is a very, very important award, something we call the Floridian, which goes to the individual or individuals who have gone above and beyond to help the people of Central Florida and the state of Florida, for that matter. One of the recipients of this award you heard from earlier when Candy Fisher, the wife of Florida State football coach Jimbo Fisher, accepted her award for helping to raise more than $1 million to research Fanconi anemia, the rare genetic blood disorder that Jimbo and Candy's youngest son, Ethan, has been diagnosed with. The other winners of the Floridian Community Service Award are sitting right here in this room. Stanvangundy gave us a lot of thrills when he was coaching the Orlando Magic. He became the greatest coach in franchise history, but since he's left, he and his wife, Kim, have become even more valuable members of the community. Together, they have become politically active, helped pass a referendum in Seminole County to raise money for the cash-strapped schools over there. Stan is on the board of directors of the Central Florida Zoo and the Seminole County Boys and Girls Club. They've also done work to help raise money for the shameless number of homeless children in Central Florida. Here's what my Sentinel colleague Scott Maxwell wrote when Stan left as coach of the Magic. I'm quoting Scott now. "I'm going to miss Stanvangundy, and not just because of his passion on the court. I'm going to miss Stan for his passion away from it. Sure, Stan was a pro on the hardwood. When the Magic axed him Monday, they fired the winningest coach in team history and one of the winningest coaches in the NBA. But Stan had a passion that goes beyond win-loss records. He cared about homelessness and public schools, about democracy and character. In fact, when I heard from Stan, it was rarely about sports. He was more likely to be torqued about boneheaded legislators or by voters who weren't paying close enough attention to what was happening in their own backyard. While some sports figures step up when the cameras are rolling, Stan stepped up when they weren't. After 60 Minutes spotlighted the shameful number of homeless children in Seminole County, he and his wife Kim sprang to action, personally hosted an event, and raised more than $75,000. The Floridian Award for Community Service goes to Kim and Stan Vangundy. Kim and Stan, congratulations. Yeah, you don't really need it. Can you hear me? Do I talk loud enough,
Yeah,
Stan?
I can hear you.
Do I talk louder than you?
Yes. Actually, you do, yes.
All right, Stan, let's start. Tell us about Kim and what she's done.
Well, she's the reason we're actually here getting this. You know, I mean, I was, for 5 years in coaching, I was carried by my staff and players. And now I've transitioned over, and I'm getting this award because I'm being carried by Kim. So she's done a lot of things. She is on the foundation board for the Seminole County Public Schools, and as part of that, the Take Stock in Children Advisory Council. She's on the board of the foundation for Seminole State College, so raising money both for our public schools and our public college. And then she's on the advisory council for families in transition that deals with the homeless children. So she's doing about 2 full-time jobs all the time.
Why is education such an important cause for you guys?
See, she should be up here. She doesn't want to talk. She should be up here. But, I mean, she's the one, and she says it all the time. I mean, education is really the answer to everything. And I think we really believe that. You know, I don't care what you look at. You look at the economic problems we have, education will go a long way to solving those. If you look at crime problems, you know, you go through our jails, it's not a lot of highly educated people in there. You know, I mean, it's just important for everything that we do for our community and our country.
Stan, you've also said that it's going to be hard for you to get back in the coaching because you love living here, you love being a part of this community. If and when you do return to coaching, are you going to stay in Central Florida?
Well, I mean, we'll always, you know, be here to some measure, and right now there's no plans to leave. I mean, we've really liked living here. I miss the coaching, but we love Central Florida. We love Seminole County, and you know, we're very, very involved there. It would be a very difficult place to live, to leave.
Okay, you got to tell this story. You're on the board of directors of the zoo, the Central Florida Zoo. I guess they have the new rhinoceros over there or something.
Jahi.
Jahi, and he's your favorite.
Well, and he got he just got a couple of weeks ago. He just got a playmate in there. Another young rhino from the Tampa Zoo came over. So now we have 2 rhinos there. Yeah.
And you like the rhinos?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Now I haven't seen the newest one. I've seen Jahi, but not the newest one. But yeah, we were just out at the zoo. Kim and I were out there Saturday night. They had a flashlight tour at the zoo, and we took our nephews, Kim's brother's kids, and went out and with our flashlights walked around the zoo. Yeah.
Never take Ted Nugent to the zoo, by the way.
No,
never want to do
Ted
that.
would be hunting, I think, based on that. So, hey, Mike, I do have one thing coming up. If we're talking about community involvement, I'm going to tout one thing. There's a great event for the Boys and Girls Club this weekend, an easy one for people to help out. Parks Lincoln of Longwood, who does a lot in the community. It's a great event. They call it the Driven to Give event. All people have got to do is come out between 10 and 4. You test drive a Lincoln, 2013 Lincoln. For every test drive, they give $20 to the Boys and Girls Clubs of Seminole County. So if people can join us at Parks Lincoln, all you got to do is drive a car for a few minutes, a beautiful 2013 Lincoln, and help the Boys and Girls Club. We'll be there from 2 to 4. But the event goes from 10 in the morning until 4 in the afternoon.
Now, can you do multiple drives? Like, can one person just stay there all day and test drive?
You know what? I don't think they'll give us $20 for all that. But if you come and it's your wife or your significant other, you can both drive. It's a great thing. We're hoping to get 300 test drives in during the day, $6,000 to the Boys and Girls Clubs. And again, it doesn't require anybody reaching into their pocket or anything. Come drive a nice car and support the Boys and Girls Clubs.
Okay, Stan, before we let you go, Game 7 tonight. You picked the Heat all along. Obviously, I guess you're sticking with that.
I am sticking with that, and I think there's 2 big things, actually, that are going to set it apart. Number 1, obviously, Miami's at home. I think that's always a big advantage. But number 2, I just think, Greg Popovich rests his guys all year. I mean, that's their big thing. They thrive on rest and the whole thing. You can't rest now. It's a 3rd game in 5 days. Tim Duncan played 38 minutes in Game 5, 44 minutes the other night in Game 6. Only one other time all year did he play 38 minutes or more in back-to-back games, never in 3 straight games. I'm just not sure they're going to have enough left in the tank physically to get this done. I hope we get a game like Game 6. That was a lot of fun, but I think Miami prevails.
Okay. I know coaches don't like to second-guess other coaches. Popovich is getting some grief for not having Tim Duncan in the game at the end of regulation with 28 seconds left, and Miami ends up getting 2 key offensive rebounds. What do you have to say about Pop's decision?
Well, look, there's always a trade-off. There's no perfect decision. And the bottom line is, I was talking to Eric Spoelstra about it. I mean, it's if you lose, you were wrong. So there's no way around that. I mean, had Pop gone the other way and had Tim Duncan in the game and Tim couldn't extend out to the three-point line and he gave up a 3, everybody would be saying, what the heck is Tim Duncan doing in the game in that situation? So you've got to understand in coaching that that's the way it goes. And if things don't work out and you don't win, people are going to be on you about that. I mean, Eric Spoelstra was in the similar situation. They made their big run with Dwayne Wade out of the game. They were at 22-9 run to take the lead. He brought Dwayne back in. If they end up losing, he's going to get killed for bringing Dwayne back in. But had he not brought Dwayne back in and they lost, people would be saying, how in the heck can you not have your second best player in the game? So you have to understand that in coaching, that there's strengths and weaknesses to every decision you make. You've got to prioritize things. But if it doesn't work out, you're going to get criticized. You just got to live with that.
Let's hear it for Kim and Stanvangundy, your Mikey Award winners for the Floridian Community Service Award. We appreciate all they do.